Check, check. 1, 2. Hey, Hop Sauce coming at you guys. This is serious today. I'm in a mood. Ladies and gentlemen. We're doing a deep dive on XRP and the Clarity Act. I might lose some of you. This gets very academic and very complicated. Mind you, I used to be a high school teacher, and I do have 4 college degrees. I'm not proud of all of them, but I went down the rabbit hole. I've got some details. I'm going to show you some of the document here. Hang in there with me. Massive XRP supply shock. I'm going to explain. It's the 20% rule and the regulatory impact case. So there's a claim going around right now that Ripple controls more than 20%. I hear they control about 35 to 40% of all the XRP. Okay, that's the main discussion here. Under the Clarity Act, a company cannot qualify as a digital commodity if they own more than 20% of the market share of that token or blockchain, on the blockchain. So, is Ripple in trouble? Do they need to burn billions of XRP is another question. Do they need to create this? These are some of the things floating around. Could they create a blind trust? Look that one up. Or could they donate tokens to the government? These are crazy questions, people. Let's actually read the bill. Okay, then we're going to model. I'm going to show you some numbers, what this means for the price. Okay, I am going to do a price prediction. Oh, snap. Price prediction coming up. It's going to be calculations with supply and demand. Now, Congress.gov is a website. Digital Asset Market Clarity Act. I'm going to show you. Clarity Act includes language tied to what's called a mature blockchain system. This is Congress.gov. Okay. This is the actual written piece right here. So just know that no issuer or affiliate person may be beneficiary own 20% or more of the total supply. It says it right in here. No person may direct 20% or more of voting power where applicable. It's funny because it's 20% or more. So you got to be under 20%. That's a 20% threshold. This is real talk. Now, I need to clarify. It does not talk about XRP becomes illegal tomorrow. This is not scary doom and gloom stuff. No. If Ripple owns more than 20%, which they do, it's basically saying that it's tied to qualification standards that don't meet the standards of being a commodity under that regulatory authority. Okay, so here's a couple bullet points. It's not just talking about wallet location. It includes control. It includes affiliates. It includes direct authority. If you can still control it, okay, regulators may still consider it yours. So this is a critical thing when people mention this blind trust scenario. If they do make a decision to put the necessary amount of XRP into a blind trust, that's a little bit sketchy, but the bullet points these things. It's got to be properly structured. This is attorneys are involved with this thing. It's insane. Okay. Now, on this Clarity Act right here, it's coming from right here. This section 205, mature blockchain system requirements. Okay, I'm noting this in case you want to read all this stuff. It's right there. Okay. It's all in this section right here, this mature blockchain system. It's got the requirements. I'm just fact checking here. Remember, people, look, I'm not the kind of guy, this academia thing. I was kind of forced into getting a bunch of college degrees. I was an NCAA Division I baseball player. That's where my mind was, but you're forced to go in it. So I learned how to do research. Okay, that's where I'm coming to. I want to, just give some quick credentials. I know what I'm doing here. Next. Okay, depending on how beneficial ownership is defined, estimates of Ripple-related control can exceed 20%. Okay, this is where the Senate language gets involved. This beneficial ownership thing, man. It's crazy. So if Ripple needs to reduce below 20%, okay, what are their options? Now, this is very careful, structured stuff. I hope I don't lose you here. I'm trying to stay on board with y'all. Let's assume hypothetically, okay, the 20% threshold becomes strategically important for the XRP movement to go forward. Option number 1, gradual distribution. Okay, this seems to me to be the more realistic approach I think there's 4 options I'm going to share with you right here. Okay, it's option 1 is institutional liquidity, ecosystem grants, market-based distribution. This would be the cleanest method when you look into all these kind of things here. Option 2, creating an independent trust. Now, mind you, I'm talking about how Ripple can get below that 20% ownership of the XRP tokens to qualify as a commodity. Independent trust. A blind trust only works if Ripple truly gives up beneficial control. If it's able to be unwindable through the legal system, it's going to be considered control. Like, you can't fool smart people. Trust me. You cannot fool the system with this kind of talk. Option number 3. It's a foundation model. Okay, independent governance, non-profit separation. My God, I can't. That whole thing. If you haven't heard, NGOs, these non-profits are so corrupt. I know. I had a non-profit. I know firsthand how this stuff worked. I was the president of this non-profit that I created. I started learning that. I'm like, oh, that's how you avoid paying taxes and pull money from different funding sources, and it's crazy. Number 3, clear structural independence. That's the hard part on this one. Okay, that was the 3rd one. Number 4 is a token burn. Okay, there is some of that going on, but not to the level that needs to be. Okay, so yes, XRP can technically be burned. Okay, but this is, okay, number 1, it's really extreme. No evidence Ripple plans to do this. There's been nothing said in these meetings. No standard compliance practice. So that one's kind of, that's tricky because you get into the technical nuances of the blockchain and is it really burned? I mean, again, you can't sit there with jargon and try to fool government regulation entities. It's just not going to happen. Option 5. Oh, goodness. Look at this one. Look at this one, people. Donate to government. This is speculative. Okay, it's not a standard legislative solution, but I have heard some things. Okay, it creates more complications than clarity, really, when you're talking about donating billions of dollars, literally. We got to be careful here. Now, let's talk about the hypothetical supply shock of the supply and demand discussion. Now, I have to be very clear here. Open your ears, ladies and gentlemen. This is tricky. There is no indication Ripple plans to burn 15% of the supply. This is me just doing some research and talking here. Now, here's the formula. The price equals market cap plus supply. This is crypto pricing math. This is how it works. Okay, that you guys, if you don't hear anything or learn anything today that I'm talking about, write this one down. This is good education. Okay, scenario 1. Let's assume this market cap stays the same. Market cap equals 50 billion. Now, the total supply is 100 billion XRP tokens. That's the total supply written on the blockchain. It cannot be changed. It's immutable. Now, if the price equals 50 cents, and we need to remove 15% of the supply, stay with me, the new supply would equal 85 billion. So technically, looking at this right here, 15 billion would have to be burnt. We're assuming that that Ripple has and controls 35% of the supply. That's a roundabout figure, okay? It could be 40, 45. We're using 35. So the new price, 50 billion plus 85 billion, equals 0.588 cents per that equation that we looked at above. So that's roughly a 17 to 18% increase with zero new money entering. That's without anything happening. You reduce that supply, boom, we pop up 17 to 8%. If that happens, people, just believe me, money's going to flood into this project. That's where we're going to see this freaking moonshot of 5 to 10x or whatever. It could be insane when you start bringing liquidity into this equation. I'm not even talking about any of that. This is just face value looking at math. Scenario B. Market cap expands to 75 billion. So 75 billion plus that 85 billion equals 0.882 cents. That's about a 76% move from the original 50%. And it's simply a supply shock in demand expansion for doing nothing. No more money coming in, no more nothing, no more coins sold or bought or blah, that boom. It's crazy. Scenario C. This is structural repricing. If the market cap doubles to 100 billion, this is the actual market cap. We're not talking about supply, to clarify. 100 billion plus 85 billion equals 1.17, $1.17. So from 50 cents to $1.17, it's a 134% move for doing nothing. That's what non-linear repricing looks like mathematically. Now, disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Well, like I said, we're just going over some math. This does not mean XRP is about to burn 15%. This is no evidence. There is no evidence that Ripple intends to do this. This is simply modeling supply mechanics, and these are kind of some of the things that are floating around out there. That's why I'm coming here on them on my channel. I want you guys to understand, don't believe the hype. We don't do that. We're just crunching some numbers and looking at the reality when things start to pop off. So the big picture of this discussion here, the real takeaway is we're talking about the structure, not the hype, not the panic. Now, this is real. Write this one down. This is in the document that I show you. Okay? The 20% rule is real. And this talk, the language about the beneficial ownership definitions truly do matter. And then the escrow nuances that are in here is big as well. Okay. The Senate language evolution matters. I knew there's something going on behind closed doors. This is all the discussions, the things that we're hearing here. This is the stuff that's getting put out on the table at the White House. Okay. And so talking about markets in general, okay, as far as the investment community, markets don't fear concentration. They fear the uncertainty part. We know this. It clarifies. If clarity arrives, institutions can model their risk. Remember, all different institutions have their trading instruments that they know they can manage their risk. Once this is clear, structured products can start to launch. Capital can flow in. With these, they apply for whatever, Fidelity, BlackRock, Edward Jones, Schwab, any one of these things, Coinbase, possibly. Well, Coinbase is a little different because they're already a crypto exchange, so they're kind of, it's a different discussion with them. That all those things, the capital is going to flow. It's going to flow in, man. It's going to be mind blowing. So if regulatory clarity tightens these definitions, and if supply mechanics ever change meaningfully, that's when you see non-linear moves. So let's watch how the Senate defines beneficial ownership. Okay, that's where the story lives, is defining that right there. And so I wanted to share that with you today. It's exciting stuff. I hope I didn't lose you. Take some notes on this stuff if you're interested, and I'll put this in the description. It's the congress.gov, and I'll give you the title so you know where to find it. Actually, I'll just give you the direct link here. It'll be kind of long, but just click it, and you'll be able to go right to it. I'm going to leave you with a chart. We always got to look at charts on this channel real quick. Look at this red line. That's my trend line. This is at a very important level that I'm watching closely to see what this candle does on this trend line. I don't know what it's going to do. If it bounces off, we should see a green candle up towards that resistance again. If this candle drops below that trend line, we go back into that downward trend. The next spot we're going to be looking at is this white line level at that 110 to 112. So I'm going to be watching this closely. Zoom in or tune in here if you want to check it out. I'll show you what I'm doing on my next move. Might be buying some more. Full disclosure, I did buy an Ethereum and Bitcoin ETF on this candle here last week, but I'm just standing by to see what XRP does right here, okay? Like always, appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Crypto Hop signing off. Stay calm. Do something fun. Try not to freaking get so hyped out of your shoes that you won't be able to believe it. So, price prediction. We could see XRP go to all-time highs. I don't want to bore. I know I don't want to bore you with it. That $3.54, I think it was. We could see it go to that. Where's the orange line? It was $3.66. If this passes, I think we get a moonshot up to all-time highs, and then we'll see what happens from there as far as the liquidity coming in. All right, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. Appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Peace out. Peace out.